Saludos programas and welcome. And let's put it in for the code of honor.
Before we forget inevitably.
There we go. All right. I am Adolfo, the Nerdy Puerto Rican, and I am here with the Calito Caribbean Kool-Aid Jesse. And we are here to go over this week's ROH episode 91. So you don't have to watch it, but you should, because it was okay.
Slight change of programming tonight because Mikey is not with us. Mikey is off doing his very important work. So the Chaos Gremlins are taking over for tonight, at least until Mikey gets back.
Yep. So it is Jesse and Adolfo's Ring of Honor review for episode 91. And this episode of Ring of Honor, we start off with your NJPW Strong Openweight Champion, Gabe Kidd versus Angelico.
I thought you were going to say overweight champion. I was like, that's mine. Thank you. I wasn't defending tonight.
That's right.
I like the match. It's just that I don't want to bury the lead here, but I'm going to jump ahead a little bit in that I liked tonight's show. It was good enough, but not great. We are running out of time before Final Battle. They're not developing any stories, which is concerning me. And it's one of those, like, the match was good. I'm glad I watched it. But I still need the why. Why are we having it? Are we building to something with Angelico? Are we building with something with Gabe Kidd being more on the program? So it's a big concern of mine. Match itself was good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, wrestling-wise, the match was great. But I agree with you 100%. You know, like, what are we doing with Gabe Kidd? What are we doing with Angelico? You know? Like, I know that there's a lot of crossover. Are we going to have Gabe Kidd, you know, at Final Battle? Like, you know, yeah, what are we doing here?
As somebody who just watches ROH and just does reviews for ROH, and I don't pay attention to everything else that goes on with AEW unless it's like huge news, I'm getting a little tired of the crossovers because it's not leading to anything further. It's just spectacle for spectacle, which is okay at times. But when it's the majority of the matches on the cards, that one becomes troublesome to me. Yeah,
and you know that raised another question because, and again, not to jump the jump ahead here, but the Spanish Announce Project and Angelico and Serpentico, they were separate tonight. So, like, has this been like a constant thing lately with ROH, or?
I actually can't remember the last. No, because it was a few weeks ago they tagged together, and then
Okay.
I don't remember last week or the prior week. But so it seems like they don't know what they're doing with all the players they have. Like there was no
Yeah.
reason for them to have singles matches when there's plenty of other talent they could have used. They could have put Griff Garrison in one of these matches while who's the person JVL can't stand who's growing on us? The I Love Hot Moms. Cole
Oh,
Carter. Cole
Cole
Carter.
Card.
While he's recovering, you could have Griff Garrison in a match. Like there's a lot of other names you could have put in there.
Yeah.
And if you stumble on somebody who wrestles like Serpentico in the match later on tonight, but you don't want to use Serpentico, why not call up John Cruz? He's almost as good.
I know, almost. Just you know. But yeah, so Gabe Kidd and Helico. Gabe Kidd does get the 1-2-3. It is another thing. It was a very dominant showing for Gabe Kidd, which was fine, but at the same time, it kind of sucked seeing an ROH original in Helico, getting
You're not putting the investment in the talent that's currently on the roster. You're putting
yeah.
the in the spectacle.
Yeah. So, but that's that. That moves us to our next match where we had JD Drake and Beef versus Shane Taylor and Tiger Style, Lee Moriarty of the Shane Taylor Productions.
Promotions.
With the infantry at ringside. This was another okay match, I thought. We did have at the end Shane Taylor hitting JD Drake with the Uranagi and then the splash and then the 1-2-3 pin. So Shane Taylor Promotions just come out with the pin. What do you think, Jess?
I mean, trying to think of the best way I can say this. The best part about the match was the Undisputed Kingdom coming in for the save after and potentially turning face in there. That was the best part in the whole thing.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this, and it might be controversial. I'm sure there's people on this channel, presenters included, who are going to crucify me for it. I don't get Shane Taylor. I don't get it. People are so impressed by him. I'm not. I don't get it. Like I'm sure he's been around for a long time, and I'm not trying to take be disparaging or take anything away from all his accomplishments, but watching him go up against JD Drake, against Beef, who are impressing me more and more each time, he seemed like he was outclassed. It seemed like he didn't fit.
Yeah, this match, I feel like he fell into that rut, which I've seen him on AEW, not recently, but in the past, where he lets Tiger Style kind of do all the heavy lifting, and he just kind of tags in for some quick spurts. I don't know if that's by design, if that's like like his conditioning, or
maybe he's nursing an injury and they're trying to limit him. Like, if that's the case, it makes sense. But I even think back to, must have been this time last year when he had one-on-one for, was it for a title? I think it was for TV title against Keith Lee, when Keith Lee was still around.
Yep.
And that match just was underwhelming.
Yep.
Like, again, he seemed outclassed.
Yep. And, lately, like within the last month, he has had some really good matches on Collision and on Rampage as well. So this match for Shane Taylor seemed like a step backwards for him, for me. JD Drake and Beef, this seemed like a meh match to me. It seems like they've had better matches on Rampage, because I watch Collision and I watch Rampage. I feel like that they have had better matches on Rampage that kind of forwards their story along. I do agree with you. I feel like the best spot in this was when Undisputed Kingdom came running out to save JD Drake and Beef from the pummeling that was going to happen by the hands of Shane Taylor Productions. I'm also still not sold on the infantry being heel thing. I don't know. How are you feeling about that?
I don't think they're getting enough time to develop as heels. It's just like, oh, they're heel now, but they're
Thank
not.
you.
Like they haven't had enough mic time, vignette time. They haven't really been wrestling all that much. They've just been a part of this and just kind of on the outside.
Thank you. All right.
It feels like they stepped. It wasn't even like. So usually when people go to a heel turn or a face turn, it's a step forward for them. It's more for development, more for character. But this seemed much more like a lateral step for them. Like they stepped sideways, but nothing's changed.
Right, and it really did feel like it was like an overnight change, at least to me. Because the last time I saw them on ROH was over the summer, and they were baby facing. As a matter of fact, I've seen Trish Adora very recently on Rampage, again, still babyface. So it really seemed like overnight they did this heel turn thing, and
I'm not sure what's going on with their writing crew or the creative crew, but they need to find a way to make these kind of things stick, because the Iron Savages are dealing with the same thing. They made them heel and done nothing. It's fallen flat.
Yeah,
because they're so over. People don't want to not like them. People want to not like Jack Jameson for a myriad of reasons, but overall, like there's no follow through on them, and it's frustrating with that.
Yeah.
Now, just to maybe take a stab at this and talk a little bit more about the save from the Undisputed Kingdom. If they're turning face, this was the smart time to do it, because I can see where this is going with the building up of our next promo that we've got coming up, because they're clearly playing heel, so that we can have a natural heel face again with those two teams.
Yeah. And they have, Undisputed Kingdom has been doing a lot of this recently on AEW television, where they've been coming in for saves, and they've been doing more babyfacey things. So, even though it was still really odd to see Undisputed Kingdom coming out.
Yeah, it was very strange, but then I started to think about why they were doing this, and it was like, what? If it plays out as I'm anticipating it to, I agree with it. I think it's a good idea.
Right. But this does bring us to our first spot of the night, if you will, where we got a spot from the Righteous. I'm going to play I'm going to play a quick little clip of this spot, and we are going to talk about it.
Moment, I realized that I made Daddy proud.
Dig what I'm saying, man?
I love it. Love it.
That was a gift.
Love it.
That so was good. The best promo they've had since I've been following.
Yep. Yeah. I don't know.
5 stars. I've got nothing else to add to it.
Yeah. I really hope, in regards to like their spots and their characterization, that the ROH writers or whomever let them off the leash and continue doing stuff like this, because this, I feel, is that edge that they needed. Like this was memorable. Yeah, this spot was memorable. This spot pushes the whole thing with Dustin Rhodes and
bring his dad into it, Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, what are they calling themselves now? Like the Texas,
the Sons of Texas, I believe.
The Sons of Texas, right? It builds into that, but also like shows that unhingedness that you want to see from the Righteous. Like, because the last time I saw the Righteous, they were doing the whole thing with that 2x4, which I don't think there was ever any.
We never got an explanation around it. It was just kind of an affectation they developed.
Right.
I don't know if they talk more about it on any of the AEW products.
Nope.
But I know we didn't get an explanation in ROH. I mean, I kind of liked it because it was that whole misery angle.
Yeah. Right.
But no, I don't think we got a whole explanation around it.
All right. But yeah, so we got that spot with the Righteous. I will probably tune in next week to see if we get more from the Righteous. So there we go with that. This leads us to our next match of the night, where we had Kevin Knight versus Serpentico. Kevin Knight of oh my God, where is he from?
I can't remember. Heavyweight tag champion there.
Yeah, I can't remember. I'm almost positive I saw him on MLW's Lucha Apocalypto. That's why I'm getting confused. But this match again, this match was okay. It was meh. The wrestling was good. Um, it it felt like something was missing. Not 100% sure what. What do you think, Jesse?
I think the wrestling was fine, but I got frustrated at this match because I knew what we were going to get as soon as we came to it. And it was going to be, a serviceable match, not a bad match, not a blow me away match, but a serviceable match where, again, another Ring of Honor talent loses to a spectacle of somebody else they've brought in. And I'm getting frustrated at that point. As one of the ROH loyalists here, I don't understand why they can't get wins.
Right. Yep. Especially against Serpentico, and this goes in line with Angelico earlier as well. Earlier this year, it seemed like one of the main storylines for RH was with Angelico and Serpentico, and now I come back. Admittedly, I've been out for a few months of ROH TV, but I come back and it seems like they've been tossed to the wayside. Not saying that anything bad about Kevin Knight. He was he really good, great high flyer, a lot of energy that he brought to the match. He did get the 1-2-3 pin. The code of honor was adhered to, which was nice. But yeah, it was a bummer that Serpentico had to eat the pin on this one. Really quick, I do want to give a shout out to our fan Robert from Lafayette, Indiana. Lafayette, hey, what's going on? So yeah, that was that. Kevin Knight comes up with the 1-2-3 pin.
Me, I never really have a problem with the talent. Like if they bring in these people from different promotions, I never have an issue with the talent. Right. My issue is with the why. Why are we doing this?
Yeah, right, exactly.
If it doesn't lead to anything, what's the point? Like it's not to be crass, but I don't wipe before I poop because I don't like doing stuff for no reason.
Fair, exactly. No, I'm right there with you. I wish there was a little bit more of a why are we having them in, more than just like here's a match for you. It's a great match, but speaking of great matches, our next match was the Conglomeration's Tomohiro Ishii versus the Undisputed Kingdom's Mike Bennett, who earlier in the night we saw come out for the save for JD Drake and Beef. Yep. This was probably my second favorite match of the night.
Okay.
The Chop Fest I thought was very entertaining. Just them trading chops back and forth. I love Mike Bennett. I love, I love when he's with Matt Taven. But they both I feel, just have really great in-ring acumen. They also sell the other person's work really well. So they're great workers. I also thoroughly enjoy Tomohiro Ishii and just that whole blank stare, an immovable mass
role. The stoicness of the Stone Pitbull.
Exactly. I thoroughly enjoyed it. What did you think, Jess?
So it wasn't my top match tonight, so this is probably 3 for me. But I was expecting to be underwhelmed, and it delivered better than I expected it to. So this was a nice little surprise for me. Yep. So I came into it going, okay, I'm not going to, the same play as every other match of why are we doing this? It doesn't make sense. But at the same time, this is one where I was frustrated to the point where I suspended my frustration and just like, let me just enjoy this match. And I did.
Yes.
It over-delivered for me.
Yep. It was a very entertaining match. We had talked earlier before we came on how it felt like this match was kind of like thrown in at the last moment. Because it just, in terms of the flow of the show, it didn't feel like
it seemed adequate.
Anything. If anything, it felt like they were really pushing Tomohiro Ishii's match coming coming up on Wednesday against the ROH champion Chris Jericho, which is going to be on AEW Dynamite. So,
my favorite when that happens.
Right? Because why do we not have ROH titles on ROH? Hey,
Hey, do we want to talk about the Tony Khan media scrum or that question he answered?
Let's do that right now. Sure.
Yeah, so I don't know if you and I looked at the same article, but mine was pretty much just a recap of the questions you would ask at the Q&A, and they were asking specifically about making Chris Jericho the champion, and he said that this is going to be his 9th world title. He adds prestige to every title he holds, and he thinks this could be wind up being like a stepping stone to ROH getting a TV deal, which is pretty cool. I'm okay with that as your reasoning. Right. As a business person, it makes sense to me. I don't love Jericho having the title, but again, if we're trying to build this business, it makes sense. But at the same time, this kind of went, okay, well, then we know for a fact that Ishii is not going to beat him for the title.
Right. Yep. And by that rationale, Jericho will probably be holding on to the title for a while, which the wrestling fan, I'm the same way, like business side, I totally get why Chris Jericho has the ROH.
He's still a household name.
Yeah. I totally get why they have the ROH world title on AEW television, right?
You get more eyes on it.
Exactly. As an ROH fan, though, it bothers me. It hurts me. Yeah, that we don't see the ROH title on ROH.
But that's kind of been the way the past 2 years, because before Jericho we had I'm blanking on his name right now. Mark Briscoe, who defended maybe 3 or 4 times through his whole reign. Yep. But he was always wound up in like multi-man matches in AEW, so he wasn't available for it. Before that, we had Eddie, who was in Kingston, who was never there. Before that, we had Claudio, who was never there. So it's almost just become the trend to not have your world champion there.
Right. Yeah. And it's almost making the ROH World Championship feel like a undercard AEW belt, dare I say.
As Andrew would say, a prop.
Yeah, exactly. So, which is frustrating. But I guess we'll see what happens.
But back to the match. I enjoyed the match overall. I don't know why we had it, but I still enjoyed the match.
Yep. No, it was a good match. Yep. Definitely good match. If you like chops, definitely go check it out. There's some pretty vicious chops in that one. Tomohiro Ishii does come out with the 1-2-3 win on Mike Bennett after he brainbusters him to the ground. And that brings us to our next match. Nope, not so much. They showed a previously taped match from Final Battle 2008. It's your Briscoes versus Konosuke Sasaki and Katsuniko Nakajima. And that's it. However, the next match after that.
Okay, we'll move on because, again, another frustration. If you're trying to show people, we've got all these great matches on our collection, on Honor Club, and we want to build the subscriber base and more people go watch this old stuff, great. Make it an optional match at the end, like after the main event. Stick around for another classic from the ROH library. Cool.
Right.
There's your gold tag. Done.
Yep. Or, just like actually push the ROH library, But yeah. So our next match was Ari Daivari versus Shingo Takagi. I always enjoy Shingo Takagi on my screen. This was my number 2 match of the night. Ari Daivari, I have grown an appreciation for Ari Daivari. I feel that he's a good worker. That's where I will leave it at that. What did you think, Jesse?
I thought this match was a nothing burger. They could have scraped it off, and I would have been happy. This is the tomato they always put on my cheeseburger that I don't want.
Right.
Okay. So, and it's nothing for the competitors. It's nothing against them. It's just I've had enough of why are we doing this matches.
Fair. That is very fair. Which again, kind of the theme of the night. Is this match building towards something? We got Final Battle coming up. Are we doing anything with Ari Davari? Really doesn't feel like that. Shingo Takagi, he got the 1-2-3 win. Again, we have an outside talent coming in from NJPW to get a win over ROH talent. So, yeah, that was very frustrating.
Yeah, that's kind of the theme of the night. It seems to be.
Yep. Next,
we'll move on to a bright spot.
Yeah, but now for a bright spot, we got Outrunners, little Outrunners spot. Jesse, would you buy an Outrunners fanny pack?
I would buy it, and I would wear it so proudly.
You could fit your sunglasses in there. You could fit your hair clips in there. You could fit your modem repeaters in there. Yeah, that's right.
Would you wear one? Would you buy one?
Totally. The only reason I haven't bought one is because it's Christmas season, and I'm hoping that Santa Claus comes through with me. Oh, yeah. That's right.
I'm waiting for a good Black Friday sale.
Yes, right.
I can't bank on Santa Claus. I was not good this year.
Yeah, I mean, fair. That is very fair. I do have a serious question about the Outrunners for you, Jesse.
Okay.
So the Outrunners have been getting a very, dare I say, significant push on AEW television. They are going to be on one of the pay-per-views for Full Gear, where they're going to be in a four-way tag team contenders match for the tag team championship for AEW. Do you see, would you think with this type of push that they have been getting on AEW? Oh, and also now they have an alliance with FTR, and they're calling themselves FT Runner.
Okay.
Do you see? Oh, it's great. It's freaking great. But anyway, do you see the Outrunners coming back to ROH in the role that you're used to seeing them being?
If they formed like an alliance with FTR and they're going to be in that 4-person or the 4-team matchup, that's happening at pay-per-view, right? Is that happening Saturday?
This weekend. Yep.
I don't see them going back to ROH. I see this as a way to plug the Outrunners being on AEW and to get more intrigue to what, like, hey, I know you like them. They're up here now. Come watch them at the pay-per-view.
Right.
Which, again, business-wise, makes sense. If you really like the Outrunners and you see them and you're expecting them back on Ring of Honor and you finally see them, you're like, oh, they're back. Oh, wait, no, they're here now. Cool, I'll go watch that. You're cannibalizing your viewership on Ring of Honor to get AEW viewership up. But to answer your question, no, I don't think they're coming back to Ring of Honor, which makes me sad. It's the same way of that one with the MXM collection. Yeah, that they come out, they get over, the fans love them. Tony goes, "Hey, that was a great idea. Let's put them up here now."
Well, yep. Let's bring them up. Yep. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling that with you. I'm not. Having said that, I'm not sure. Past the Full Gear pay-per-view, what the crystal ball holds for them, if you will. I do know that,
so it wouldn't be smart to bring them back down.
I mean, yeah. So, but yeah, it's a shame, but Outrunners, youngest men alive. So, and seeing how on ROH TV there was a Full Gear bumper, I'm going to give y'all a Biconics bumper. We got so much going on. So tonight, stay on the channel because we're going to be having our TNA review with Mikey and Andrew at 9:30 Central Time, which is pretty much, depending on how long me and Jesse run, it'll be right after. Tomorrow night, we have our Full Gear watch along stream where it's going to be just Alice, it's going to be Mikey, and it's going to be yours truly. And we are going to be watching Full Gear. So come on and watch Full Gear with us. Make sure to get Full Gear legally on your Fight TV or Bleach Report, wherever you get your pay-per-views.
Maybe I'll make a drive down to Jersey and I'll come watch it with you at your place.
There we go. We'll order pizza.
And I can hang out on the orange beanbag.
Yep. He's saving a spot for you right there. And as always, please check us out on all the social medias. We are all you can find us you can find all of our social medias on Next Level. We are on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Twitch, YouTube, Patreon, and we have merch as well. So please, merch. It is the Christmas season, feel free. So then this brings us to our only women's match of the night, which I was really frustrated about because normally AEW television is rife with great women's matches. But tonight we got one. It was a ROH Women's World Champion Proving Ground, where we had Athena versus Layla Gray. Athena came out with the submission choke on Layla Gray, and then proceeded to put Layla Gray completely out. What do you think, Jesse?
This was my number 2 match. It got points because it was the only women's match on here, which, again, another frustrating point. You've got such a dearth of talent, or excuse me, you are lousy in the best possible way with talent for women's wrestlers, and you're not showcasing them, which is incredibly frustrating. But I liked the match. I thought Layla Gray had a great showing because she hasn't been involved in too many matches on Ring of Honor. She's been more of the valet for Top Flight. So letting her mix it up in the ring was great because she can go. And if they had given them more time, it would have been even better. And seeing Athena have a new finish, another one, the Go-Go Plata, or I guess WWE fans will know it as the Hell's Gate, just awesome. She's always finding new ways to make her career longer, which I'm happy about because she did the Eclipse for so long. And, I mean, look at Matt Hardy. He can't walk. So if she does that for long enough, she's going to have the same problems. Whereas lower impact moves like this are going to increase her longevity.
Yep. And also that submission just looked ruthless.
Oh, yeah.
Ruthless. Which, sells her that
I saw her pull the arm up and step over, and I was like, is she really going for that? And it was beautiful.
Yeah. So
I don't think she gets enough credit for being able to pull off just the vast array of moves that she can and make them look convincing.
Oh yeah, no, she's a fantastic performer, and she has great. I said it once before. I'll say it again, just because I think it sounds cool. She has great ring acumen. I don't feel like a lot of people give her enough credit in that regards.
I would agree
she knows her stuff. She knows her stuff, and she knows how to use it. The only reason why this didn't rank higher for me is because
in this spirit for a second, but I'm here.
Yep, I got you. I was disappointed in seeing Layla Gray lose again. I've been seeing a lot of Layla Gray on Rampage, in matches against Anna Jay and Mariah May. And, she's had great showings just like in this match, but, has been losing. I was really hoping, I didn't think she was going to get the win against Athena. What I was really hoping is that they were going to let her get the 10 minutes so that
or get close to it.
Right. As it stands, she made it 8 minutes, which I bummed me out. Another reason why it bummed me out is because I wasn't invested in the match because they're both great wrestlers. And then Athena hit that submission and Layla taps out. I'm like, oh, that's it? Come on.
It was a bit of a surprise finish, but that kind of happens whenever you introduce a new finish.
Yeah. So
the part that frustrated me about this match is the only story that we got development was because Caprice and Riccaboni were talking about it. Like,
yes.
We didn't have Billy come out or anything with Lexi or anything with the Minion Empowerment. And we're running out of time because my theory is that we're going to get Billy Athena 2 for Final Battle. Yep. And honestly, I feel like Billy should dethrone Athena at this one. However, we're running out of time to build there because it is November 22nd.
November 22nd.
That concerns me. It concerns me greatly because these are booked or pre-taped. So do we really have 4 weeks until then, or do we have a week and hopefully the other 3 catch it up?
Right. Yeah. No, exactly. Exactly. And so finally, this brings us to our main event. This was my match of the night.
Mine as well. This felt like a proper main event too.
Yeah. We had your RH World Champion, or I'm sorry, your ROH World TV Champion, Brian Cage, versus friend of the podcast, AR Fox. I was afraid when I saw this match on paper that Brian Cage was just going to come out and it was going to be like a overextended squash match. But wow, this match, if I can steal from our whoever writes our little like social media blurbs, this had twists and turns. I'll tell you, I was riveted by this match. AR Fox, like it started off, with Brian Cage doing his Brian Cage thing, muscling AR Fox, and then AR Fox like turned it on, and this match became so competitive. There were a good few times where AR was able to put Brian down. I was like, is AR Fox actually going to win this match and become the ROH TV champion? Brian Cage does get the 1-2-3 pin by just a ridiculous power bomb. And speaking of power bombs, that series of power bombs that Brian Cage put on AR Fox, and then AR was able to kick out of. I
didn't believe it at first. I thought they messed up.
Yeah,
it was that it was sold so well and that convincing. Yeah. There was a lot of 1-2 in this match, but it wasn't like the it was like, what? Wait a second, was that like legit? So I was floored by this match. It was so good.
Yeah. So great performance on both ends. But the real thing that we need to talk about here, Jesse, how are we feeling about scruffy Brian Cage?
I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they need to update his card.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't recognize him at first, but I kind of dig it.
I don't. I guess because he's part of the Don Callis family now, and that's the angle he's going for. But me personally, like, if he wants to push into the Swolverine thing and just like, come back with like the big one chops, I'm good with that. So, but yeah,
like weirds.
No, I hate them. So, Brian Cage, your ROH TV champ, does retain against a fantastic match with against AR Fox.
I can't believe AR Fox kicked out of the, I don't know what he calls it, but Brian Cage version of the Steiner screwdriver.
Yes, yeah, that too.
I don't think I've seen that kicked out of it. So protected as it should be, and it feels like they've finally had AR Fox finish his penance.
Yes. Yep. So, which, hopefully we're going to be seeing, because this is the second big match that AR Fox has been in 2 weeks. So hopefully, we'll continue this, dare I say, push for AR Fox.
Yeah, they should. He's fantastic talent.
He's
going to be a nicer guy.
Yep. Exactly. So now really quick, this is ROH related, and I'm totally jumping the shark on Mikey on this. So at Wrestle Dynasty, I should say, I apologize. On Wrestle Dynasty on January 5th, it was announced that they're going to have a International Women's Cup, where they're going to have a woman's representative from each of the brands, AEW, CMLL, Stardom, and ROH. And they're going to come together in a four-way for the International Women's Cup. Before that, in each of the promotions, they are going to have a 4-person tournament to fight to be able to go to Wrestle Dynasty. So, Jesse, my question to you: what 4 women's wrestlers do you think should participate in this ROH in this ROH four-way. And then who do you think of those four should represent ROH at Wrestle Dynasty?
So there's a couple of different schools of thought that I was going through after you posed this to me a little bit earlier. First was, are they going to let it be actual ROH, or are they going to do this as AEW Team A and AEW Team B, where you have people like who aren't really featured on AEW that much, but they've been in one Ring of Honor match like Ty Conti or things like that. So if that's the case, I'm going to be very unhappy, and I might not even support the damn thing. But I'm going to be trying to be a little bit positive here, which is not normal for me. And if we're going with the best ROH has to offer, then I think we have to go Athena. We have to go Billy Starks.
Yep.
We'd have to go Red Velvet because there's a reason why she's the champion.
Yes.
And if I'm going a fourth, she hasn't been featured much lately, but she's one of the best in-ring talents they have, and it would be Taya Valkyrie.
Yeah. Yep.
If we're going if we're going for they're separating this from the titles, like the Women's Cup is going to be its own thing and letting the people who are in title contention stay and focused on that. So that takes away your Athena, your Billy Starks. It takes away Red Velvet. I still think we keep Taya Valkyrie in there.
Okay.
I think we put Layla Hirsch in there.
Right. I was going to say.
We put Diamante in there.
Diamante. Yep. And
then for fourth, I'm trying to think. You see, I would think Kiera Hogan, but she hasn't really been around much lately. So and same with Mercedes, because Mercedes has been on AEW.
What about
I would go with the Queen of Strong Smile, Rachel Ellering?
I was going to say there's Rachel Ellering. Yeah, I feel that the Robin. I would love to see Robin Renegade.
Oh, I would too, but I just
in there.
They've got her dropping out in AEW right now, and which
I know, but that's why I would love to see her in there, is because she has, even though she's been jobbing out in AEW, she's been doing such a great job. You know, like all of her matches are entertaining, all of her matches are competitive. You know,
she gets better every time we see her.
Yes, exactly.
Like she's the reason why I'm considering watching AEW, because she's on Rampage.
Yeah, she shows up on Rampage a lot. Yep.
So I mean that's the one reason why, is because I want to stay apprised of her career, because I'm such a fan of hers and her sister.
Right. Really quick, I just want to say hello to Pop Culture Geek 4293. Thank you for watching this most serious show of seriousness, where there's absolutely no chaos whatsoever going on.
Absolutely not.
That's right.
We're serious 100% of the time.
We are super serious. All right. So then let's change this up. Who from the women's roster in ROH would you want to see going into this International Women's Cup to represent ROH?
If we're going to represent ROH, which to me is kind of like who's going to be the next superstar? They're up and coming and they're growing in their roles. It's Billy Starks. It's Robin Renegade. I have to go Red Velvet because she is so young in her career.
Okay.
And then Athena or Queen. But I know Queen's more of an AEW.
Yeah. That's that. Yeah, Queen.
She had a big storyline last year, so she's like always going to be an integral part of ROH. So
you're right.
Maybe I'm not so good at narrowing this down to 4.
Yeah, Queen has been in this thing with Serena Deeb lately in AEW. That's why she was out of my periphery for this. But yeah, no, she would actually. My choice would definitely be if they're tagging Queen as ROH, then I feel Queen would be the best representative for ROH in this International Women's Cup. But again, she's been doing a lot of work in AEW, so it's that, like, are they, aren't they?
If we're going for who's going to have the best matches and can work with anybody in any promotion, I'm going with Billy. I'm going with Taya Valkyrie.
Well, now the interesting thing about Taya, and really quick, let me actually just the Pop Culture Geek 4293 very seriously says Billy, Red, Queen, and Layla.
Great
on
choices.
this.
Yeah, they were all kind of in what we were saying.
Yep.
Agree with
And
that.
then, yep, Layla Hirsch. But yeah, so Taya Valkyrie most recently is teaming up with Deonna Purrazzo, and they have a faction called the Vendetta. So so again, we start playing with that. Are they pulling her out of ROH?
Yeah, I'm going to say yeah then.
Yeah, right, because this is kind of like a big thing. So, but yeah.
I still wish they pulled the trigger on my idea, which of course they listened to me clearly. When they were in ROH, is have Taya team up with the Renegades and have a heel faction that way.
Yeah, that would have been cool. That would have been cool. But all right, so the Wrestle Dynasty International Women's Cup, definitely pay attention to any of your favorite AEW or AEW adjacent brands, CMLL, Stardom, and ROH. Watch for the four-way tournament. And then on January 5th, tune into Wrestle Dynasty to check out the International Women's Cup. I think the Women's Cup is going to be a really fantastic match. So next, we have the big announcement this week was Final Battle is coming to us from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City on December 20th. Again, I'm going to jump the shark on Mikey. And let's talk some dream billing or some billing that you think we might see. Jesse, Final Battle 2024. How would you want to see the card? Who do you want to see on the card?
I'm going main event. We've got Billy Athena 2.
Okay.
And I just, I'm trying to think of stipulations, but I think that would benefit from being a straightforward match, no schmaz, and I'd have Billy win clean.
Right.
And make sure we're pulling the underdog story through the whole thing.
Yes. Okay.
For a men's title, I don't know. Because it's not really on Ring of Honor, so I don't really have much purview for it. It's going to be Jericho, clearly, and he is such a household name that I get that. But I don't know who I'd have him go against. I have him retain because he's only had the title for a little while now. And again, if we're trying to build that brand and do getting a TV deal out of it, we got to keep it on him. But I think somebody from his past would be good, somebody who's still got it. Because I watched a few years ago, they had the Juventud match, and I was so excited for it. It didn't deliver.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm still kind of on the fence about who I'd have him go against. Women's TV title. I'm thinking we have a 4-way match, and we have a like a no DQ. I don't want a full Texas death match, but I want some kind of stipulation, no DQ, whether it's a ladder or tables match, something like that. And we have Red Velvet. We've got legit Layla Hirsch. We've got Rachel Ellering. And who do we think would do well? How about Lady Frost was the 4th? Because I think they would put on a great match.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I think that would be a great match to see.
Yeah.
Tag titles. Let's go heel Righteous, who are currently holding the titles after they've beaten the Sons of Texas at some point before then. Then let's have the Sons of Texas in there for a rematch. And then let's have in the now face Undisputed Kingdom too.
Okay, so like a triple threat. All right, cool. I dig that. What about your ROH Pure?
I think the person who needs it is not in the best position right now, because I think it would do well with Josh Woods.
Okay.
But I don't think he's in the best position right now with the Premier Athletes and Mark Sterling. He needs to drop Mark Sterling. He doesn't need a mouthpiece. He doesn't need his actions speak for himself, and I think that's enough for him.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree that the Premier Athletes do not need Mark Sterling. And yeah, we'll leave it at that. All right. Boom. Yeah, and then do you see any gimmick match for final battle? Any like not
see this.
like a non-title match, but that kind of like to kind of give
Care versus
the
care match,
crowd,
like that. Yeah, I think I know what you're driving at. How I would do it and how I'd write the story around this too is we had the infantry turn face, or turn heel, and it's not working. There's been no follow through with it. Shane Taylor cannot be a face. He just it does not come naturally for him. He's forever going to be a heel, and that's okay. That's his part to play. But I am seeing a feud, a rift develop between Shane Taylor and Carly Bravo, because Carly Bravo is far more enigmatic and far more captivating than Shawn Dean. And no offense to Shawn Dean, because he's a great worker in the ring. But I am seeing a match for control of Shane Taylor Promotions, and we get a name change. And then they wind up turning face. Where we got Shane Taylor versus Carly Bravo.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would
give something with a story.
Like yeah. Ooh, I like that. Hopefully that pans out. That'd be cool.
That absolutely won't, but I think that's a good idea. I think it's a good story for what we're doing here. And you know what I think would be nice? If we have a battle royal, an over-the-top battle royal, give me 15, 20 people, because we know the roster has it. Let's let them get paid on the pay-per-view. And who wins that is the next contender for the World TV title. Okay. Which I've got to book a match for that too. And I would like to see, it might be a little soon, but I'd like to see a returning Dalton Castle come in and win that.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. How close is he to coming back? Do we know?
The last reports were beginning of next year.
Okay. All right. Yeah, because
while it is plausible, it's probably unlikely.
Yeah. Well, yeah, right. Because not only was a concussion, but I think torn bicep as well.
Yeah.
Last year, Yeah. And that takes a while to come back. So
who do we think for the TV title then? Because we got Brian Cage. I'm not taking the title off of him. But who do you think will provide a really good match and be like, you know what? I could see this going either way.
I mean, we kind of saw that last night.
Yeah.
Golly.
Who's been on the roster who's been kind of flying under the radar?
Man.
We could get a returning Kyle Fletcher to come back and get the title that he lost to Atlantis.
Could do that. How about Beef?
No.
No.
And for me, no. I think Beef is paired too well with Anthony Henry and JD Drake right now.
Okay.
But I could see, I don't know, I could see JD Drake and Anthony Henry. I don't want to split up the workhorsemen, but have them have a battle over custody of Beef.
Yeah, I feel there's
something silly like that.
I feel like that's where the story is heading. There's going to be some sort of something with the workhorsemen and Beef. But yeah, back to the TV title. I don't know. That's a good question, because it's not that names do pop in my head. It's just like, wait, no, I think he's AEW. Wait,
yeah,
no, I think
that's the hard part, that they keep flip flopping like that.
Right, and then also I was like, oh, I would love to see Atlantis Jr. Brian Cage Part 2. You know,
if they do that, I want CMLL Atlantis Jr. I don't want Ring of Honor Atlantis Jr.
Yes.
I'm not being impressed by that.
Yep.
You know what? I could see that running it back for that.
Yep. And thank you for noticing that. That's something that me, Mikey, and Will have been saying for a long time. But so who do you, good people, who do you think Brian Cage should meet at the ROH final battle on December 20th? Please chime in the comments and let us know. Jesse, this brings us to the end.
This was a good night. This was a fun night, I feel like.
Yeah.
As middling as the card may have been, I had a good time connecting with you, because we don't get to do this nearly as often as we should.
Oh, I know. Yeah, and it is funny that For as blasé as the show was, it was actually very nice discussing it with you.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do you have any comments?
Do empanada ratings? So where are you on the empanada scale?
Oh man. So this was my first ROH show back in a while. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. It was enough to keep me engaged, but like not enough to, at least when not talking to you, not enough to make me want to watch next week. After talking it over with you, now I want to watch it next week. You know what I mean?
They're running out of time, and that's what scares me. If I'm going empanadas, which usually tracks, because I wind up usually rating the lowest out of anyone, this is a 6.5 for me.
Okay. That's fair. That's fair. And you're right.
Rating in the past couple weeks has been, I mean, there was a few weeks ago where I don't know if you got to watch, but I didn't even give it empanadas. I gave it a frozen pierogi ratings. That's how bad it was.
Wow.
Yeah.
But we're not back there.
No,
we're
not
still,
even close.
We're still out of that. So that's good. So
give me some more women's matches. Give me some more. Why are we having these matches? And let's get a proper build to Final Battle. That's what I need.
That's right. So, my good people,
just for fun, just to take the piss from everyone, that Jericho match, because he's got Big Bill as part of the learning tree.
Yeah.
Let's do Enzo Amore.
There we go. That would be funny. Oh man, that would be funny. All right, good people. So that is our ROH show for tonight. Please stay tuned to the BC Your Biconics Wrestle Pod channel, because we are going to be having the TNA review with Mikey and Andrew later on, coming up pretty soon. Staying on, who knows? At any rate, I am Adolfo, the youngest Adolfo alive, and I'm here with Jesse. Say goodnight, Jesse.
I got nothing. Good night, Jesse.
All right, and from here, this is hang on, wait, where's my thing? This is how we'll say goodnight.
Let's get out of here. Johnny TV style.
Sebastian!
You're in the shot, you bald idiot!
You fool!
The other way! Go!
Go blind in a million sockets. This life's